Good evening and welcome to your midweek Super League fix. Your ears do not deceive you. Ryan is ill and I have stepped in for a bit of late night Super League action. Looking forward to it actually. Don't often get to do midweek, obviously. Sunday is my night and yeah, generally midweek is a lot of fun. Ryan does a very good job. So whether you're one of the managers, the legions, the millions of our wonderful fans, or whether, I don't know, you're a Claire Wright, a Mrs. Smuts, or a random woman from Grimsby looking for what was an awesome night's action at the weekend, we welcome you all the same to what I'm sure will be laugh a minute. Flying solo tonight to whiz through this for you guys to make sure you didn't miss out on your midweek action, which means there's no set order. So we're literally at the game's mercy as to where we go. But I know Jens has got the carver in, sent me a very nice a video, appreciate that. I know that Maka is watching with I believe it was a Pinot Grigio, and I'm sure Stee is already on Magna's number 28 of the evening. Let's let oh we knew I've already seen in the chat cat comments. I'm not even engaging, lads, not even engaging. You're better than that, and I'm hoping to witness a lot better than that in the chat. Mr. Campbell, you're right, not all heroes wear capes, but just for you this evening, I am wearing one. Bright red, got an F on it for Fifey. Pants are over the trousers as well. I'll leave that to your imagination. Let's get straight on with the action. Oh, hang on, I've already seen the Fifey. Which manager posts the best content and why is it me? Which manager? Historically, it was me, Duggan. But given that I've had to step aside to lead the show, to captain the ship, I would say that yours is up there, definitely up there. You got a way to go until you beat some of my all-time gems, but you're certainly one of the better content creators out there. And Jens, you are better than that. But if you do insist on keep making cat references, at least keep sending me the abs pics by way of apology. I will try and engage as much in these comments as I can, but I know you don't really want to listen to me. You want to see how you get on. So let's get straight on with Dudley Hill versus Locomotive Boston. There was a question for those of you that have joined late, by the way. There was a question at the beginning of the chat for, and just as a starting point for late night Super League, describe every Super League club as a celebrity woman and why. I want to know who you are comparing each team to. Locomotive Boston is probably Anne from The Chase. Absolute shithouse. Feels like they're giving you a chance and then absolutely destroys you. And this is what Loco have gone with. It's the same tactic, but a couple of personnel changes, including Tonetto moving inside to left defense, central defensive midfield, and Junior going out wide. One thing I'm not a big fan of, if I'm honest, is the subs bench. There is zero attacking intent from the subs bench at all. So hopefully we don't have to make too many changes. Because it's not going to excite the fans, basically. Jens, you are correct. Wob does have some good content. However, it's not necessarily all broadcastable, and he does tend to get himself in trouble. Loco are the lass who pitched a fit on Celeb Big Brother, way too defensive. And Steve's waiting for Peruzzi to end up front. Steve himself, the Tinkerman, has tried to remove that tag from him. However, he has tinkered again, and we've gone with a front two this time. For Dudley, he's moved on Sadeby up front with Luca Toni, Amoroso in behind, Seedorf playing on the wing. And it's been highlighted before, but again, I think the change in form has certainly been as Chris Perry has been introduced as he came in on loan. It's definitely Steve's been tarnished with making some absolutely dross fucking transfers, has absolutely ruined his squad at times. But Chris Perry, of all the players he has signed, Chris Perry has probably been one of the better ones, and I'm sure if we're not doing a restart, which I know people keep asking me, and I'm going to keep not answering you until I see fit. If we continue with this incarnation, I'm sure Chris Perry is one that Steve will be looking to bring in permanently. Just having a look. Jens, haha, what a bench. He's already gone in with a 0-0. Duggan saying Seedorf as a winger makes me sick. And Scott's here. Steve, Steve Wright is Carol Vorderman. Looks good, but very old at the back. And Dimple's gone, Steve is charity dingle. Remember, we're supposed to be describing the clubs, not the manager. If we can have a couple more predictions come in as I hit kickoff. As I don't have anyone here, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to be unbiased today. I'm going to say Dudley Hill will win this because they're the only team with any. What do you mean if we continue? Oh, Scott's not been reading between the lines of the comments in the chat when I do pitch up and everyone asks me what's going on next year. I'll leave it to your imagination, Scott. I'm going to say Dudley win this because there's a bit of intent there at least, but it's only going to be by the odd goal, and it seems like Dudley have got a bit of belief from the fans as well. Everyone's backing them to win. They started quickly and they're coming forward again. Luca Toni's name getting involved. Seeing Junior and Neto linking up as well. Van Bommel. But they need to score while they're on top because we all know what Loco are capable of. Duggan back in Dudley as well with a 2-1 win. And it's Montella who gives the away side the lead. And Steve will not be happy at all seeing that, especially given I like this version of Fifey. This version of Fifey's always here. He just likes to give everyone else the chance to talk. We are at half-time. Loco winning 1-0. It looked like there was a bit more action, particularly from Dudley, but the stats don't necessarily represent that. Now, again, I know Greavesy has got a very early start, so he's not here. So we'll very quickly, just for the stat fans out there, click over so they can see that it is basically exactly what you'd expect. Zidane's getting a 6, Barthez is getting a 7. Other than that, nothing much to write home about. But Steve is here, so we'll give a bit of time for him to actually look at his stats. Duggan will be pleased to see Seedorf getting a 6 out on the wing. The man, again, the worst Super League transfer of all time. I mean, I just don't understand how he was so good and then so terribly, terribly bad, and then somehow got even worse. But he's getting a 5. What's your favourite breed of cat? We're not having any cat comments tonight. Remember, I'm doing you guys a favour. Let's leave me alone. Steve is bringing Olasadebe off for Lopez and swap with Amoroso. There we go, Steve. Let's see how that shapes up for the second half then. And yellow card given early there. Dudley looking like they're attacking, but again not managing to put the ball away. There it is. And this is why managers get paid big money to make big decisions. The substitute has worked out. Now, can they press for the winner? Why not? Because I said so, and I'm in charge, and I can just as easily turn this off as I turned it on. Fifey's favourite goalkeeper was Peter Benetti. Piss off. Hedrick goal. Montella missing the rebound, but still Loco come forward. I'll spare you this time. It's all of them. Oh, I asked for better content than this, guys. What's your favourite common household pet that's not a dog, rabbit, hamster, or fish? Parrot. We're coming towards injury time. Still, both sides looking like they're trying to get a winner. And it's a free kick in an attacker position, but it deflects off the wall, and here come Loco. Are we going to get a winner in this first game, or are we going to end in a draw? I didn't notice anyone predict a draw before kickoff. Oh my God, guys, come on. This is supposed to be late night Super League. It's better than this. The game ends 1-1, fairly even. A draw's probably a fair result. Not much to write home about for the away side. Zidane kept his 6, unsurprisingly. Bartez's rating did go up as expected. And let's have a look at Dudley. Impressive defensive display, certainly. And, all in all, still be a bit disappointed that it was a quiet night for Luca Toni. Other than that, again, it's definitely signs of improvement for Dudley, and will give Steve confidence that he's starting to understand the Super League and get the best out of what he's got. And again, whether or not he has a new club or the same set of players next year, he will certainly be in better spirits for it. Let's move swiftly on, and it's a big game. Northern Burn versus Gazelles. We've got top of the league against one of the teams that are only 3 points outside the top 6. Burn suffering with the suspension of Samuel. Seeing Cannavaro return to the lineup. Roy Keane is obviously only ever 10 minutes away from being sent off. But Totti and Jeremy's have been decent in midfield, and again, as always pointed out, when he does get to feature, Ljungberg never lets Ian down. A lot of talk, obviously, about Sigalko and his credentials, but he is obviously leading the way in the goal scoring charts this season, and Duggan has had a lot to say about how they plan on handling him tonight. This is the team he has gone with, and as advertised via Twitter, Wellens does play an attacking midfield. Raoul is playing up top. Zales and Smerton, apparently the men charged with destroying Sigalko tonight. Just having a quick flick through, see if there's anything worth noting. Ian saying Greaves is infuriatingly good at not losing. Apart from that, two Jens in Burns 11, handsome bunch. Everyone called Jens is handsome. We know this. It's fact. Duggan saying it's Wellens time. Who is going to offer the first prediction for this one? For me, it's hard not to back Burn, but given that at the very start of the season I backed Gazelles to win it, I kind of have to keep the faith with them that they'll get the results to at least get into the top 6 and not make me look completely stupid. So I'm going to say 2-1. Duggan saying he'll lose 3-1. Smut saying Burn will win 3-0. A 3-3 from Mega Horse. Sloths 1-0 Sigalko FC, and Scott saying 2-0. Let's kick off and see who is going to get this right. Gazelles started quickly, but Burn now coming forward. They weathered the very early storm. Looks like it's fairly end-to-end, but Gazelles perhaps slightly the better of it at early doors. But here come Burn, creating, but not managing to put the ball in the net. Excuse me. Everyone will be absolutely delighted, other than Ian, to see Sigalko not scoring again tonight. Coming up towards half-time, will we get a first-half goal? We have, and it's Cafu on the stroke of half-time. And Burn looking to strike back instantly. It wasn't to be. Have we seen Ian? Oh, yeah, I was going to say we have seen Ian in the chat. So we can look at both team stats. Very, very even game. Could still very much go either way. Jeff Palmer refereeing. A decent crowd at Northern Burn as well. And I think that'll be bolstered by the fact that Gazelles, as we picked up before the stream, properly got going, averaging the highest crowds. So I bet they travel well away as well. And Scott in the chat there saying hello. I'm guessing that's at the result and nothing that I've missed in the chat. Strong Gazelles half that Jens. You are correct, sir. You are absolutely correct. I've not seen any comparisons to who these two clubs would be, by the way. If anyone wants to throw them out there. As for, well, a couple of the ratings surprised me here. I mean, it's no surprise to see Panardi not really doing much, because he never really does much. Surprised me a little bit that the two centre halves maybe are only averaging or rating in at sixes when, you know, but Burn have had some attacks. It's not like they haven't been involved. Richie Wellens getting a 5 is not what Mr. Duggan will want to see. Ian's gone as is, so we'll just wait for Duggan to make a decision on how he wants to affect this game. Medina for Smirtin and Marino for Materazzi. It's always interesting to see your guys' different approaches. This is the third or fourth time when I've been presenting this that Duggan's replaced players on yellow cards at half time. A lot of people are happy to run the risk. Mr. Campbell, you are correct. Big half coming up, not just for these sides, but for everyone in and around the playoffs as well. Let's see how it pans out. Burns starting quickly, trying to get back into this. The yellow card for Wellens. Burn very much in the ascendancy, it would seem to me. But Gazelles are still creating as we pass the hour mark, 20 minutes to go. Let's just slow it down now. Will the home side, will the league leaders be able to pull this back? Scott's saying Duggan's a fan of subbing a centre-back. We're into the final 10 minutes of normal time and still Burn haven't managed to equalise, despite seemingly being largely in charge of this second half. But it's all the right names getting involved. It's Gatos and Contra. They're playing it out wide a lot, it would seem. Free kick to Gazelles there that Pinardi lines up. It deflects off the wall. Totti bringing it forward, but Cafu doing his actual job, not just scoring goals. Offside, 4 minutes of injury time. Can Gazelles hold on? This could be huge if they can. And then looking for a second, shooting from distance. We move into injury time now. Still Gazelles lead, and it's still them on the attack as well. But here comes Sigalko, headers over the bar, and there is the full-time whistle. And I can hear from my Leicestershire base, I can hear so many of you cheering that Gazelles have pulled that off. Again, an even game. Impressive. I'm going to imagine impressive defensive performance by the away side to not concede. See Zayaleas doing exactly, there was a lot of criticism about the transfer to bring him in, but that is why Duggan went big to bring him in for a performance like that in a game like this. Dede getting an 8 as well, Vulgaris getting an 8. He had the players in the right places step up as he needed it. Tato, for fuck's sake, Bird. What a result, says Scott. And let's have a look at the Burn stats. Contra getting man of the match despite being on the losing side. You look at the ratings and the figures. You look at passes and pass completion, for example. Burn was certainly in this game, and it's just not happened for them tonight. They've come up against a side who came in clearly needing the win, and now they've piled a whole heap of pressure on the teams not above them and below them that still harbour top 6 hopes. Evening, Ryan. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're feeling well. We know you're not feeling well. That's why I'm here. But hope you're on the mend, mate. Congratulations to Duggan. Commiserations to Ian. And we move on to Haggis versus Churchtown. And a tweak. And Haggis have gone a little bit Astor on us. Mixing it up with the tactics, playing players sort of not symmetrically. Is symmetrically the right word? Ryan's dying. Well, we hope this will resurrect you somewhat then, mate. And I hope you're able to offer better content in the chat than some of the other guys are, because they're not offering half what I asked them for yet. Vieira and Mendieta playing in the anchor role together. Larson doesn't feel like he's featured that much. No, he hasn't. So it'll be interesting to see his performance today. Shevchenko and Saha have definitely become the preferred front too. Nikiforenko's had a lot of criticism, not just this season, but this save generally. He's had a lot of criticism. And again, it'll be interesting to see if this is the game he lights up for Haggis. And we have a look at Churchtown, who The formation is very similar, but there's a couple of tweaks, I believe, instructions wise with this. The big news from the last game is that Barsom comes in and attacking midfield in place of Del Piero, who is carrying a knock. Davis is also out. He was replaced by, I want to say, Kaladze. Tato pointing out, yet familiar looking tactic. Who will be first to offer me a prediction, please, before I hit kickoff? On Saturday, the 13th of March 2004. Summoning the ghost of Tato when things get tough, Campbell. Yeah, well, I think Ian's happy enough to say that he watches, he observes what other people do, and he's happy to include it in his thinking. Now the predictions come through. Duggan first in for 2-3. Tato saying 4-0. Ian Edwards 2-2. Scott 1-1. Max 10 shots between them. Let's kick off and see what happens. And well, Scott might be right, because that 20 minutes flew by with very little happening. But Haggis are starting to take a bit of control. They've got some good names in the attacking areas if they can just get the ball to them and let them do their thing. It looks to me very much being dominated by the home side at the moment. Coming up to half-time, still Haggis to me appear to be the dominant side, which won't please Dimble at all. Let's see if the stats reflect that. Yes, very much so. 3 times the amount of shots on goal, four times the amount of shots on target. Both managers I have seen in the chat, so we'll start with the home side. No surprise at all to see Vieira getting a 9 at half-time. But again, you look at the attacking players. If you, on a normal save, if you had Larson, Nikiforenko, Shevchenko and Saha, you'd be expecting goals from them as a unit, and it's just not quite happening for them at the minute. They need to improve their output. Let's tick over. That's what flashing the US president does for you. See, at least that's topical, Jens. I appreciate that. And I will make the sub while I see it. Yardell for Saha. Yardell, of course, who is on loan from Gazelles. And here are the Churchtown stats. Hedman, who is quietly going about his business, but he's been very, very good for Churchtown. If it, the likes of Barthez will always get a mention as top goalkeepers, but Hedman, considering Churchtown's issues for the majority of the season, has largely been excellent. And he will. I think when I come to offer up nominations and stuff for Team of the Year and Player of the Year, etc., I expect Hedman to be involved in the conversation. I know Dimble's been in the chat. Here he is, Tim for Rossini and swap with Elbert. There we go. Both sides making attacking changes to try and influence the game. Let's see if it bears fruit for any goals for us. Again, Haggis looked to be dominating, particularly that first 10 minutes of the second half. But here come Churchtown now, and have they kind of weathered a storm, and have they now ready to kick in and cause their own problems? Let's just slow it down, see if we're going to get a winner. Indirect free kick, which Cars takes, but Larson clears. Here come Churchtown again. If I'm having the conversation with myself. Maybe I will, Scott, because having had a conversation with most, if not all of you lot, it's generally the most sense I get is having a conversation with myself. There is Hedman, the man I was talking about. Churchtown look to me like they're going to be the side that nicks this late now, having suffered for about an hour of being dominated. They've certainly been more into it. Nikiforenko puts one wide. He could have finished it. He will feel. Again, it's the names that Haggis will want to be seeing. Mendieta, Nikiforenko, all getting involved late. Corner kick to the home side, but cleared again. Churchtown, largely Dimble is very good defensively. It's not even over yet, and Ian's saying utterly pitiful performance. There could be late drama yet. Free kick given, and it's Roberto Carlos take it, but Haggis stand firm again. And are we going to get another injury time goal? Is Shevchenko? And he has. Shevchenko has scored in injury time to give the home side the lead, and it looks like Ashley Cole is being blamed for it. And there is full time. I do believe it said that was Ashley Cole's fault. Oh no, sorry, a great cross by Ashley Cole. I had obviously had him playing for the wrong team as I'm saying that. Haggis do nick it 1-0, and the stats would suggest they were good value for it. It was much like it was in the first half, really. The stats all backing Haggis. And if anyone, I don't know if anyone mentioned it in the chat, I didn't see anyone, but the referee certainly would have had an influence on this game, I'm sure. Ashley Cole getting man of the match. Shevchenko pulling a 9 rating as well. Vieira's rating actually dropped to an 8. But a solid performance all round by the home side. Just looking at the chat as I'm clicking away, yeah, a lot of people saying hard lines to Dimble. It's always hard losing in injury time. Headman, the pick of the bunch for the away side. It was good to average, I think is the best way to describe it from Churchtown. I don't think Dimble will have too many complaints other than the fact that they've lost it in injury time. Ian, I actually think Ian was due a late one after Ryan stitched him up the other week. But congratulations to Haggis, commiserations to Dimble and Churchtown as we move on to what could be a game that features later in the season in the playoffs, potentially at some stage. Devils hosting Fulchester. Macca has gone unchanged from the last game. Jens, you're better than that. I keep telling you, you're better than that. But yes, Macca has gone unchanged, and he will be riding the crest of a wave, having made well, kind of in his own way, making a Swemp debut earlier this week and getting off to a winning start as well. But Michael Owen continues to lead the line, and it's that familiar sort of Man United-based midfield of Beckham, Veron and Giggs largely supplying. Let's have a look at what the Devils. I don't know if I've seen Hodgie in the chat just to confirm this is. No, this isn't right at all. Hang on. This isn't what he asked for. Bear with me 1 second. I can't remember which one it is now. 1 sec, I just need to go onto the my other screen. I did send him a message as well, but it was quite late, so he probably didn't get a chance to see it. Devils. Is it the MK2 one? No. And I only have 2 Devils tactics saved as well. Crap. Unless he's done it as SD. No. Crap. I haven't got Hodgie's tactics saved here. Oh, every time it goes wrong for me, it's for Hodgie, and I feel really bad. I'm not sure what he wants me to do here. And he's not in the chat either. I'm going to have to just, I think, alter it to look like what he wanted. And basically apologise in advance if it goes horribly wrong for him. Yeah, the problem is, Ryan, I would go on the email, but the message on his Twitter is, do you want me to resend the tactic? Because it was roughly 5 weeks ago, but we don't know specifically which game tactic he wanted. I mean, I could go and find one from 5 weeks ago. This is definitely how he wants it, but it won't have the specific instructions. necessarily that he wanted per player. No, fuck it. We weren't going to have it anyway, so let's just play as it is. It's definitely the players he wanted, where they wanted them. And the rest of it, I'll apologise in advance if it goes wrong. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Predictions, please. And we will see what people think. I'm going to back... I normally back Macca, but given that I've just messed about with the Devils team, I'm gonna back them to win now because it's got my touch against it. Duggan already going in 1-2. No, Ian, it wasn't 2 AMs. 0-4. Everyone now saying that I've cost Hodgie this and they're going to get absolutely hammered. I'll be quite happy as long as they avoid defeat, because then I won't feel quite so bad. Good evening, Mr. Savage, who joins us on, where are we, game 3, 4? I've lost track of where we are. And Devils take the lead, and it is Aymar who scores it. Full chest to strike straight back, though. This game was always going to be entertaining, and offer some goals. Two of the more entertaining sides. Aymar getting a second makes it 2-1. And the Devils, you know, they know that I know what I'm doing. We've proven. Now you can do there. Don't sweat it. I'm not bothered because they're winning, mate. As much as to Macca's frustration, even game, fairly even game. Devils just at doing what they tend to do, and being efficient in front of goal. Again, I've not seen Hodgie in the chat, so we'll just very briefly click on, see what the players are doing. Aymar getting a 9. Worth pointing out, while I am messing about with their team, Aymar is definitely a Hodgie signing. He wasn't there while I was there, so you know, that's him sticking 2 fingers up at me saying, do your job properly, Fifield, don't fucking do it at all. Let's click over to see if Macca wants to change anything to try and tilt the scales back in his favour. It's not a terrible performance. Buffon doing okay. Ronaldo doing okay. Giggs as well. Michael Owen having one of his quieter games. Hodgie needing the reigning champ help to make it. Absolutely not the case. Hodgie doesn't need anything from me to be making top 6. Owen for Shearer is the change Macca is making. Let's see how that helps him. We kick off the second half, and the Devils continue to come forward. And people pointing out that it's Aymar's birthday, so that's great knowledge if that's true. Oh, there he is. Hi, Hodgie. It's a penalty. Veron makes it 2-2. Hodgie, apologies that your tactic didn't go to plan. You always twitch with Mickey Owemaka. Oh, let me slow it down. As we head into injury time, will we get a winner from either side? It was the Devils with the attempt there, and looks like they're coming forward again with Van Bronckhorst. Gets past Veron and he delivers the ball. Dyer with a header, but Buffon makes the save. And now full chest on the counter attack. Montero trips Shearer. Ronaldo take a free kick, deflects off the wall. And now Devils come forward. And I must say, I'm relieved to say that that's finished in a 2-2 draw. Macca pointing out that he's hit the bar twice. Again, an even game, and we've seen quite a few even games. I think it's only the Haggis one that's not been that even so far tonight. It's certainly improved from Fulchester. Let's have a look at the individual stats. Van Bronckhorst getting a 9, Dyer 8. I mean, I'm our man of the match, unsurprisingly for his 2 goals. Please be 5. Thank you, lads. Yes, this is what I was hoping for. I just wanted lots of praise for being able to completely fuck it up and draw at home with Fulchester. And Penza having one of his quieter games. Emerson and Ferguson not really having the impact that they're more renowned for. But it was a decent performance without being exceptional from the Devils. Shearer was definitely an improvement on Owen in the second half. Although Ryan is suggesting that Owen would have bagged if he'd stayed on. Veron getting a 9 for his efforts. And the defensive unit of Balde and Yepes continue to impress. And Scott pointing out that that's Veron pens in back-to-back games. Emerson has Richie Wellens pyjamas. We move on to Spartax Sloths versus Lettersford. And everyone's favourite Poulsen continues to play on the right wing. Sloths sticking with the three up front. San, Vieri and Pizarro are the three for this game. And the evergreen, the ever young Desai continues to play the pivotal anchor midfield role, as is well known, Zé Roberto missing for this one, as is Simeone and Holland. We go to Lettersford, who, for I think this is the first time, particularly in mine, I don't know if Ryan can confirm if there's been any when he's been presenting. This is the first time that there's been not a single tactical tweak, no new tactical files sent. It was just one player replaces another player. So thank you very much, Mr. Megahorse, for making it nice and easy for me tonight. Yen's already going 3-3, Poulsen ×2 and Sand. Captain COVID versus Rainman. Wow. Let's kick this game off, and I've got a sneaky feeling this one's going to have goals in it. You know, I'm not sure why, but I just have a feeling that we could see 4+ goals in this game. It seems to be Sloths who've had the best of the opening exchanges, and they continue to come forward. A yellow card there, and it is the first goal on 17 minutes for Vieri. You think Lettersford could score 3? I never said Lettersford would score 3, Dan. I just said we could see 4 goals. Seems the goal has woken them up, and Ronaldinho on half hour has equalised. It's now 1-1, and there's Constantinu. And my prediction of potentially 4+ goals is well in here, as 3 have been scored in the first half. Very even, very good from both sides. Tato, that's incredible eyesight. If you've seen that was a Vieri free kick. Are both men still here in the chat? Yes, you've both commented recently. So let's start with the home side. The goalkeeper not exactly putting in his usual standard of performance, only averaging a 6. Ebby Sand only getting a 6 as well. D'Alessandro, there's too many 6s there for Rob's liking. He won't be happy with that. Even the amount of 8s you see. I mean, Poulsen again getting an 8. Richards getting an 8. That's not really balancing. It's not really balancing the equation for him. As much as decided it's no longer going to finish 0-0. And Sand it is who is being dragged off at half time. We have a look at the away side, and we give Mr. Megahorse a chance to review his stats, because we know he loves a good stat. Ronaldinho getting an 8 for his efforts, not really getting much of the ball. You look at his passing attempts. Ryan, Sloths falling apart again. It's all part of the drama with Sloths. You know, towards the end they're going to go on a bad run. It's just whether they can nip it in the bud early enough. And Jens, Alf tipped me privately to sign Constantine. Sloth should head to a recycle bin to find a second half bottle. Ambrosini off for Addo is the change here. You need to sing it 5 feet joint division. No, I don't quite have the vocal range of a Tato Mourinho, and it's already 20 to 11. No one needs to be hearing me singing. I'm hoping my son is fast asleep upstairs, so I will keep it as it is. If that's all the same to you, Mr. Duggan, maybe tomorrow I'll just send you a little private video of me singing it on my own. Let's kick off the second half and see how things change. It's still 2-1 to the away side, and they are on the attack again. Excuse me. There we go, that's better. And Lettersford continue to come forward looking for the third goal, which they hope would kill it off. But you just wouldn't back against Sloths. And one of them need to score, because I did predict 4 goals. So if one of you could just hurry up to make that prediction come true. Thank you, Constance. Oh no, it's been disallowed. But still Lettersford coming forward. We'll just slow it down. He looks certain to score, and he did. And it's my goat, Ronaldinho, surely wrapping the game up here for Lettersford. And a long-range effort goes harmlessly over. Robert, still with 10 minutes to go, going with absolute toss. There's an earlier incident spotted, 3 minutes of injury time. Ryan's using his man flu to really stick it into Rob in the chat, which I'm finding quite funny. Dan, if it's all the same to you, given that we're in injury time and you're winning comfortably, I'm not going to wait to just bring Wes Brown on. And I'm just going to do it. Because, you know, I've gone a bit rebellish today. And there is the final whistle. Lettersford do win comprehensively, and were good value for it when you look at the stats as well. Sloths had their chances, but just could not convert. Agahawa on. Of course, Dan. I'll make sure I do that Sunday for you. I'll just bring him on after about 2 minutes, just so I can say I did that sub. Again, the rating's slightly increased for a couple of players, but it's all a bit meh for Sloths. Yeah, power's gone to my head, Smuts. I feel invincible. I've not even got anyone on co-coms telling me I can't do anything. Rob will be looking at that and won't be happy. Another video rant coming. We have a look at the away side, and Ronaldinho, unsurprisingly, getting man of the match. Petkov, who we spoke about on Sunday, continues to do bits. Another goalkeeper excelling, and Etsabury as well, having a decent performance. I'm just getting involved tactically with all the teams tonight, Dan. It's nothing special, mate. But congratulations to Lettersford, commiserations to Sloths. How am I doing? We've got 2 games left, and I mean, 5 games in 45 minutes is almost record pace for some of the Super League shows. So by all means, if it's going too quick, then someone let me know. But I think we're doing okay. And we go to Bostock Stanley versus Hull's Vikings. 4 points tonight for Fifey. This is why I'm the Super League, the reigning champion, because I can pull results out like this, Smuts. Jens has gone with this. It's Crespo up top. It's Van Nistelrooy on the bench. Ask the Dragons on last, for fuck's sake, pointless game. Is Duggan gate crashing the top 6 at this rate? Quite possibly. I don't think he'll be there yet, but he'll definitely be there or thereabouts. It's again, there's not much to say that hasn't already been said. There's not much to say that Jens doesn't know. This team should be doing a lot better than 12th in a division, and I know it upsets Jens that he is 12th. But I'm still backing him to improve this next year. He's pointing out, can't wait to have a midfield. This is what Bostock Stanley have gone with. I believe there was just the one change which sees Collins come back into the team. I'm missing a sub there. Who was sub for? Bostock. Decor. There we go. They're already. I mean, it's as if Smuts and Tato have decided this game means absolutely fuck all by already talking about theirs. No, Scott, it was definitely Decor. I'm looking at the image here. That was sub 4. Mac is saying a Bostock draw would be lovely. I don't. Why would I have had it on slow? Any predictions for this one? Given that Smuts and Tato are already predicting the last game, can we focus on the one we're on here? I'm going to say 2-1 to Halls, personally. Nothing behind that. It's just I'm the only one live to actually make some predictions. So I will go 2-1 Halls. Ian Edwards has gone 2-1 to Bostock. Tato saying 2-0 Bostock. Let's see who is correct. Has Jens been fired? No, he has not. But his side have scored, and it's Oliveira, the on loan man. But Jax equalises. No, it's been disallowed. No penalty given there as well. Bostock have been trying, but it's just not happening for them. I'm not sure if Jens is what the fucking the has he been fired comment or the fact that they're actually winning. But winning no more because Lee Bowyer on the stroke of half time has levelled things up. Let's continue to play. There is the half time whistle. One on target, one goal from Halls, which is quite impressive from their standing. Let's have a look at what the home side have put forward, and they're doing bits in the midfield. Their highest ratings are from the likes of Bojan and Dai, who it won't surprise anyone. You know, they're two of the most sought after players in the squad as well, because of their quality. Collins, Jackson, Nelka, they're doing okay. Scott will be hoping for a little bit more, but he's gone as is. Let's show Jens, who I must apologise, Jens. I should have thought really it's poor on my part that you're obviously an hour ahead. I've started late and I've left you this late to play, so I do apologise. It completely slipped my mind, pal. I will next time I jump on as a last minute substitution. I'll make sure you get to play nice and early. But here are the Hull stats. Oliveira and Liverani, the pick of the bunch there, alongside ever-present Sol Campbell. It's good to know you're drunk, Jens. As long as someone's getting drunk somewhere, it's all I'm interested in. As long as you're all drinking for me, knowing that I don't. Rivaldo for Gerrard is the half-time substitution. There we go. Let's see how that affects. Went slow again. And Bowyer has been sent off in the 46th minute. So Jens, who was saying he has no midfield, will now have a man advantage to hopefully counteract that from his perspective. And it'll be interesting to see what Scott does here. Does he pull Jacks back? Thank you, Duggan. Thank you for realising that that was an easy one for you. Collins is coming off for Ortega. Pulling back to midfield. And are you happy with Jack staying there, or do you want him central? Just give Scott a second to react to that. I think he'll keep him there personally. Mega Horse in with a nice pun. Can always back Mega Horse to throw in a pun. No, he's happy to carry on. So let's see. Basically, the whole second half, it's going to be 10v11, unless, of course, there's any more red cards. A lot of action that opening 10 minutes and a half as well, but no goals. Both sides are having attempts, it would appear. And it's Oliveira again, the man on loan, makes it 2-1, but Bostock definitely not out of this, creating themselves. And there is the full-time whistle. I think I said 2-1 to Halls, didn't I? Does that mean I finally got one right? Get it. Commiserations to Bostock. Congratulations to Jens. It was a very even game, to be fair. The red card certainly had an effect. I mean, you look at those ratings there, and to be fair, there's not a bad performance in that Bostock team at all. So it's definitely the red card has had the effect, because despite their failings this year, Halls have some quality players in their team. And the man who scored the 2 goals on loan from Churchtown gets man of the match. Looking again at some of the ratings, Sol Campbell continues to excel as well. For fuck's sake, now this meaningless game has meaning, so we're not bottom. Rivaldo coming on and certainly having involvement as well was certainly more impactful than Gerrard. And so, again, yes, congratulations. But that means that Northern and Bostock Stanley have lost, and Fulchester I've forgotten already. They got a point, didn't they? So it makes it very tight in those top 2 and 3 positions. And that brings us to our final game. Astor hosting the Dragons. The only change from last time out was that Cliver has replaced Kesman, and Kesman has replaced Nicolau, who was on the bench last time. Yeah, that is the only change from the Dragons. And we look at Astor and the tactic players for sale. I think basically Tato has completely given up any hope of doing anything. He's throwing in the towel. And when I saw the tactic name, I assumed he was just playing a team to put people in the shop window. But when I then saw the team, that's obviously not the case, because he's not going to get rid of the goalkeeper. Hoffland isn't going to go anywhere. Scally isn't going to go anywhere. I can't see him getting rid of Saviola. I can't see him getting rid of Rayed. Vincente is obviously on loan from Bostock, so he'll go back anyway. But the spine of this team will be the spine of the team for next season, on the assumption that I don't reboot it. So I can't see, although he's called it players for sale, that these are actually players for sale, personally. But having seen both teams, who's going to be first in with a prediction? Tato basically telling me I'm wrong, and all are for sale. Good job, good job. Jamie didn't let me play 4 at the back. And Jens is going for the top 2 now. He said the R word. Oh, yes, I did. And interestingly, Ian Edwards has said gone 3-1 to Astor, whereas Tato's gone 3-0 to Dragons. Even Andrew, I don't think I've seen you pop up in the chat earlier, so if you did, apologies that I missed you and didn't say good evening sooner. I hope you are well. Let's kick off this game and see what happens. Smuts, don't start talking transfers in the chat. It's 20 minutes into this, and it looks to me like Astor have slightly edged it, but there's not much happening. Certainly nothing to write home about. Here come Astor again, though. And they're certainly creating, but now here come the Dragons with 10 minutes of the first half to go, and they have scored, and it's Archie Back's 5th of the season. And hopefully that's going to spring this last game into life for a load of drama for you. We get into half time, the away side winning again. I mean, in fairness to both sides, they both created chances. Again, it's a very even game. And certainly both sides will feel they can still get something out of it. Hoffland rating a 9, putting in a very good performance despite being behind. Tato saying same old story. No red cues out tonight. Let's flick over to the Dragon stats as well, because I know Smuts is here. He is one who likes to make a sub. So hopefully Tato had a good chance to see his figures as we swap over. Again, Chiotti's putting in a good performance. Here we go. Donovan for Adolfo. There we go. Just give Smuts 2 minutes to see if he wants to do anything. That goal just before half time will certainly have changed things. Back for Nedved is the single best transfer this league has ever seen. I'm not entirely convinced that's true, if I'm honest, Mr. Duggan, but that's why we all love football, because everyone can have their own opinion. Not everyone can be right, but no one has to be wrong. Toe for Kesman. Let's kick off the second half of this final game of the evening and see what happens. The first 10 minutes has flown by with not much happening there, but Astor now definitely the dominant side. A lot more of their text than that of the Dragons. The minutes are ticking by very quickly for them. If they're going to They're going to have to score soon if they're going to get anything out of this. Now Dragons start to impose themselves again. We'll slow it down and see what happens in the last 15 minutes or so. Chance there for Aston. They get a corner from it. Dragons continue to withhold the pressure, and now they come forward themselves. Can they wrap the game up? It was an unlucky attempt, I believe, by Kesman. Oh, it's a penalty. And oh, oh no. Oh, Tato. Oh, I mean, I don't know if I've read the text wrong there. Sell them all. It looks like Asta had a goal kick. It was a poor goal kick, and then the keeper's brought down, I think, Kesman to try and stop him. Smart saying first penalty of the season. Who is Tato going to sacrifice here? Couldn't care less. Okay. Adolfo off. The substitute is being substituted just to add to the embarrassment. I seem to think I had to make this sub not long ago as well. Jens asking what's wrong. You've had a penalty this year. And as Duggan said, with Saeed on the penalty, there was only one outcome. It's 2-0 to the Dragons now. And with the man advantage, they surely won't throw this away. Asta, to their credit, are still coming forward. And there is the full-time whistle. This is the saddest potato I've ever seen. Again, even game, but the penalty was enough to end it as a contest, sadly for Asta. Let's have a look at the individual ratings. Hoffland again. To be fair, both the defenders putting decent performances for Asta, but there was just not much else happening. No one was standing up to really be the man to push them forward. Dragons, on the other hand, a number of 8s there. David's getting a 9, Zauri getting a 9 as well. Kesman was certainly, again, another substitute who came on and had more of an impact than the player he replaced. That happened a few times tonight. So congratulations to Smuts and Jamie, as that brings an end to tonight's action. In Mega Horse style, we point out that 3 teams failed to score, and in only one game did both teams score more than one goal. So congratulations to the winners, commiserations to the losers, and if you drew, if you're happy with the result, great. If you're not, unlucky. Let's have a look at how that affects the table. Burn continue to lead the way. They're now just a point ahead of Fulchester. Lettersford leapfrog Bostock into third, and they themselves are only 3 points ahead of Burn. Surely, I mean, I am here to tell a narrative, I suppose. And given what happened last season, surely Ian and Northern Burn are not going to bottle it again, are they? Surely not. But it's very tight. Bostock appoint themselves further back, so they're still only 3 points outside the top 2 and 4 points off top. They'll still be looking at it. Devils, who I was relieved to see get something tonight after my cock up, they're still in the top 6, 35 points, but they themselves are only in the top 6 by 2 points. Gazelles, was it Macca that asked, are they gate crashing? Yes, they are. On goal difference, Gazelles up into 6. Duggan saying stop the count. Sloths also on 33. Loco aren't themselves out of it, only 2 points outside the top 6. Haggis 4 points 4 points behind, 3 games to play. I think it's too much. I think we're talking it's 6 from those 8 at best. But with the top 2 still wide open, you don't know who's finishing in those spots. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Fulchester and Lettersford maybe to do it, but then again, me and Mac had a long conversation about the fixtures as well, didn't we? And Lettersford have an awful running compared to everyone else. Let's have a quick flick down the bottom. Dudley are sitting bottom at the end of the night, 2 points behind Dragons, who themselves are 2 points behind Hools. A few weeks ago, I believe Duggan was on co-coms with me, and he made the bold prediction that Hools would finish bottom. Again, 4 points from 3 games. I'm not sure. Hodgie saying, remember when Gazelles had nothing to play for 2 weeks ago? That's why you never ever, you know, you play till there's nothing to play for. Always been a big believer in that. Let's have a quick look at the next set of fixtures, which I will discuss with Ryan if he's out of his hospital bed. He suggested he may do one Friday, but now I've done this one. There's no immediate pressure for him to do so. So, in all honesty, I would predict that I'm playing these fixtures on Sunday, and some great fixtures. Sloths who need to keep picking up points. They go to an out of form Northern Burn. Who else have we got to look forward to? I mean, Gazelles Dudley will be great banter on Twitter leading into it anyway. Fulchester Astor. I'm looking for ones that have real playoff contention in them. I mean, the big one really is Sloths Burn. So I would invite one or both managers on with me Sunday to do that game if you're there. I would prefer if you kept your fingers away from Devil's Tactics this weekend, 5p. But yes, whoever would like to do co-coms at any point, we've only got a couple of games left. In theory, that would be what I'm thinking: Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. So we've only got just over a week left of the regular season. A week and a half left of the regular season. So do get in touch if you'd like to do some co-coms. But I'm more than happy on the presumption that this round of fixtures will be Sunday to open the invite to Ian and Rob to come and do that, as that's arguably the biggest game on paper in terms of playoff contention. I know it was a bit thrown together. I know you've spent the last hour just listening to me talk. But I hope it's been enjoyable for you. I hope Ryan's feeling better, because I know he would have been a lot more prepared for this. But we're there. We've done it. We've completed a show. We've done a whole round of fixtures in pretty much an hour, which is good going by our standards. And in the chat, you've been good value. So I know it was late, but we got it done. I hope you enjoyed it. We will confirm whether it will be Friday or Sunday. I'm going to again imagine Sunday. I need to go and rest my voice now because I'm recording a podcast tomorrow, because it's the 1 year anniversary of my Swindon Town one, which I know you're not interested in, but I'm throwing it out there anyway. So from Super League HQ, good night.